Court, may I ask, how can we help our relatives, who don't understand cause and effect, who still enjoy killing, slaughtering, animal farming, and brewing alcohol, change their thinking and follow the Buddha's teachings to do good?
Persuading others to follow moral principles is an age-old issue that both lay and monastic disciples of the Buddha have always struggled with. The first essential factor in persuading others with the Dharma is that we ourselves must truly practice the Buddha's teachings, not just speak empty words. We must become a living example of the Dharma. Every action, gesture, and thought, body, speech, and mind, should sincerely follow the Buddha's teachings. If we are not sincere and only put on a superficial facade, people will soon see through it and may label us, chanting Namo on the lips while holding a dagger in the heart, which only drives them further away from the Dharma. It's simple, we cannot give others what we do not have. If someone only speaks of morality but does not truly embody it, how can they transmit it to others? One may deceive the naive for a while, but never forever. If one genuinely practices according to the Buddha's teachings, after a few years, that person naturally radiates a silent yet powerful influence that draws others to follow. The strength of this influence depends on each individual's level of cultivation. At that point, whatever that person says, even if unpolished, simple, or rough, can deeply prabhavita others, because those words are the crystallization of sincere practice and carry inner power. For those with profound cultivation, even a single sentence can influence not only people but, as traditionally believed, even unseen beings. People often focus on what great teachers say to persuade others, but the real key lies in their prior practice. The second factor is karmic affinity and debt. Besides inner influence, there is another powerful force governing persuasion: karmic debt. According to the law of cause and effect, if we owe someone from this life or past lives, we tend to listen to them regardless of whether they are right or wrong. Only after the debt is repaid do we break free. When do we incur such a debt? Whenever someone benefits us, whether through money, material help, effort, saving our life, or giving useful guidance, we incur a debt to them. How powerful is this law? Absolutely powerful. When we owe someone deeply, we feel drawn to their words and want to listen continuously. More importantly, we feel compelled to fulfill their requests, regardless of right or wrong. Our heart will rationalize their words, driven by emotion rather than reason. Most human actions are governed by emotion rather than logic. When reason conflicts with emotion, the mind creates justifications to follow emotional attachment. Examples include overly indulgent parents, blindly infatuated lovers, or followers of misguided beliefs. When such karmic debt exists, even a child's words can influence an adult, let alone influential or charismatic figures. This explains why false teachers throughout history can attract followers, even to extreme lengths. Outsiders may easily see the mistakes, but those involved often create countless justifications. When reasoning fails, they may simply stop questioning and follow blindly, making persuasion nearly impossible. Fortunately, those who have karmic affinity with wise and virtuous teachers will be guided beneficially. Such teachers' words influence both reason and emotion, leading others to practice wholeheartedly, even without fully understanding. Who are these wise teachers? Anyone who guides others toward truth and brings real benefit, now and in the long term, is considered a good spiritual friend. The highest are Buddhas, followed by Bodhisattvas, Arhats, and other wise individuals who understand truth, regardless of religion. Unlike false teachings, true teachings bring increasingly positive results when practiced. This is the measure of truth. Over time, correct practice yields good outcomes. However, such results must be observed over long periods, even across lifetimes. To truly verify truth, one must study widely, observe deeply, and reflect carefully. Returning to spiritual guidance, those who follow true teachings accumulate blessings over time. For example, if a teacher encourages someone to save animals, that person may later receive health, prosperity, and success as a result. This creates further karmic connection, strengthening their willingness to follow guidance. If the teacher is misguided, however, the results will be negative, and the karmic tie will eventually dissolve. Thus, true teachers often first create positive connections, helping others, giving, healing, teaching, guiding, before teaching the Dharma. The Buddha summarized this into 4 methods: generosity, kind speech, beneficial actions, and cooperation. Only when conditions are ripe do they teach, guiding others step by step over many lifetimes. The third essential factor is skillful means. Persuasion is not limited to direct advice. We can use stories of cause and effect, share books or videos, or use platforms like Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to spread teachings appropriately. Methods vary widely depending on the individual. Understanding psychology and adapting gradually is crucial. For example, with someone who trusts science, presenting unverifiable mystical stories may not work. Instead, use logical arguments and evidence. Or when advising a prideful person to stop harming animals, harsh criticism will only cause resistance. A gentle, encouraging approach is more effective. Different people require different approaches. This skill requires deep study, practice, and experience over time. In summary, effective persuasion combines three factors. Live the Dharma authentically, your example influences others. Create positive karmic connections through helping others, while wishing for their spiritual growth. For example, when helping someone, you may silently wish, "May this person one day follow the true path and attain enlightenment." Continuously learn skillful communication and psychology to guide others effectively. Over time, these connections deepen, lasting across many lifetimes, until the goal of enlightenment is fulfilled. May you successfully apply these principles and bring the light of the Dharma to help others overcome ignorance and suffering in the cycle of life and death.